Hi everybody, Julie here from Canvas Core Brand, and today we are going to be making some wood grain on this cute little notebook journal from Seven Gypsies at Canvas Core Brand. You can see it's got grid lines inside called like ledger paper, and the outside is a heavy duty craft paper. But we're going to go ahead and change that and decorate it up to make it into something fabulous. This album is 6x6 and you can use either side as a front or back. I'm going to start with it coat of gesso, because even though it's a heavy craft paper, I just don't want it to get warped. So I'm just going to start with a light coat of gesso on each side and just even coverage. That's what I'm doing here. Gesso is going to be our main product we're using today to create texture and get this cover looking like wood grain. So starting with a good foundation is always a good idea. Gesso is like a primer. It's going to protect the paper so there's no warping or seeping of the color through to the other side, and just all around make the paints glide smoothly on top so they're not sinking into the paper. Okay, I've done both sides with an even coat, and now I'm adding a thick coat of gesso. I've got the Deco Arts gesso here. I like it. It's got a good smooth consistency to it, but I'm just putting a layer on like I'm icing a cake, so it's got some real depth to it. And I'm going to use this little rolling stamp you can see up here. It's from Glitz Design, and it's a wood grain rolling pattern, and I'm just going to start rolling a wood grain into the gesso. And you can see there how it makes the like wood plank stripes. Now I'm going to repeat that process on the other side of the journal so that both covers are identical, and I'm going to let it dry overnight. I'm using some mistable paper here. While it's drying, grab some Tattered Angels mistable paper in the frayed cotton, which is a beautiful handmade white paper with a lot of texture. It's really thick. And I'm cutting out just some leaves that I want to put on the finished journal cover, and I'm going to free cut them, and I'm not drawing them or anything, just cutting them out with scissors. And I'm going to color them up here with some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in a minute. I'm using the chalkboard in Inchworm, and then I'm also going to use a Glimmer Mist in Olive Vine, and just to have some variation. And I'll probably do another coat of those colors too, just to make the colors deep and rich. This paper is so great, like it doesn't even soak through to the other side. It's just such a beautiful paper. I love it. Holds up really well to all kinds of wet media. Okay. This is what the texture looks like. The cover is dry, and there's the texture that's created with the gesso and the wood grain stamp. You can also use a stencil if you have it. You can see I've got some skins that's dried over the edge of the journal, but it's pliable. I'll just cut that off with scissors at the end. I'm sanding it here. If your texture is a little rough, or you think it's got some catches on it that you don't want, just get you a fingernail file or some sandpaper and just run over the texture and soften it up a little bit so it's just the way you want it. I've grabbed all my browns here from Tattered Angels, and right now I've got the chalkboard in cardboard color. I'm telling you, it's not my favorite color, but I think this is going to be the perfect base color for wood. It's got a lot of red in it, but it's a good brown color for this project. And then before that gets too dry, I'm going to grab my tattered leather, and I'm going to put that on here. Another thing about the gesso, it helps the paint not dry so fast. I do have a little bit of time here. Now my tattered leather is almost empty. It won't come out of the sprayer anymore, so I'm just grabbing a paintbrush and just gonna brush it on like that. I probably need to get a new one. It's nice to finish up something and to like be at the end of the bottle of something that you love, and be happy that you been able to use it all, but sad that you are not going to have any more. So it's kind of exciting. I like how the colors mix here. That dark brown kind of tones down the redness of the cardboard color. And they blend really well because the gesso allows them time to blend together. And now I'm going to grab some Glimmer Glam. You can see here that how the paint is. It's not really shiny. It's kind of a matte finish right now. But I'm going to add this Glimmer Glam paint in Espresso Bean. And it is a true glitter paint with lots of glitter at the bottom. And also it dries with a shiny finish. And I like that. I think to me it adds a lot to what I'm hoping to accomplish. It keeps like a wet look, and that adds to the depth of the texture, and the color darkens it up too and makes it look like an aged wood finish. And I really like that. As you can see, this project is kind of an earthy project. It's more of an organic project, and even though these are glimmer mist and glimmer paints, it's not overpowering with lots of glitter or, you know, shiny stuff everywhere. It's very subtle and very pretty and lends itself very well to this project. Okay, when you get a really good coat of this glimmer paint on here, this Glimmer Glam and Espresso Bean on here, you need to let it dry, just so that it doesn't get all over your fingers or anything else, because it is it will get tacky and sticky. Okay, look how pretty that is. Look how pretty and shiny that is. I just love that. I'm in love with it. Yay. All right, I'm just adding another Glimmer Glam paint here. This one's called Bon Bon, and it's kind of a copper color. And I was just trying some things just to see if I could, you know, I don't know, some highlighting or whatever. So I'm just adding a little bit more color here just to add some difference, some contrast. It's very subtle. Now when you're working with this Glimmer Glam, make sure you're washing your brushes because it will dry in your brush and just is harder to wash out. Okay, so now my wood grain is done. I'm just going to decorate it up. I've got some beautiful Canvas Core polka dot paper here. I love polka dots, use it in almost everything. And I'm just going to cut this piece out and start layering it on with some glue dots. I've cut these frames, that frame, and the other one I'm going to use is cut from a piece of Seven Gypsies Architectures paper. They have such beautiful patterns, and I just like to cut them up and use the pieces that I need because there's so many like realistic pictures. It's just really pretty, the frame effect. I'm going to go ahead and mount the second one, the top one, with some foam tape, some foam adhesive, so it kind of stands up and has a little bit of depth to it. And I'm also going to grab these leaves and figure out the best placement for them and get them glued down. I did do some free doodling around it. There's some lines drawn around the edges and a little bit of veining, just because it needed it, I think. Wish you guys could feel the wood grain that we've created here, because it feels so nice. The texture is just really nice, and then with all the paint on top of it, it just lends it a smooth feeling as well. This little journal is going to be perfect for list making, bullet journaling, travel journaling,
just day-to-day journaling, or even if you have a favorite thing that you want to do outdoors, like if you want to go camping, or for some reason I keep leaning towards fairy tales when I think about these frames and this wood grain. So a perfect, if you have a fairy tale too that you want to highlight or remember, it'd be a perfect journal for doing that. Okay, you see me bumping up that frame with the foam dots. And when I get this frame on, I think it needs another element. So I'm going to grab my, let's see, glossy accents, I think, and give it some shine. Okay, so there you see me cutting off those gesso skins. No need for them anymore. And that wax paper really helped to protect the inside, so there was no seepage or any damage to the inside pages. Oh yeah, grab some enamel dots just to add some color and some interest to the front here. I mean, who doesn't love enamel dots? I kind of thought about using all the red ones like berries, but I didn't want it to be too Christmassy, so I did add some blue ones and some green ones and yellow along with the red. So I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to cover that top frame with the butterflies, the whole thing in glossy accents, and you can see it there. I'll show you, it's a little, you can see the shine where it hits. And now I'm going to take Tattered Angels in lava. I think it's a baseboard color, but there's no glimmer in it. And I'm going to sprinkle over it. Now the glossy accents is still wet. And this is something I like to do because the color kind of, the drops will just float kind of in the glossy accents and just add another level of interest. So, all right, she's finished. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.